Tonight on News 6, police are still searching for a suspect 11 years after the killing of a Conway business owner.
There was a fire at the Torsen Library.
We have an update on Governor Sanders' poll numbers.
And we'll find out when the UCA fountain might be running again.
All this and more, News 6 starts right now. Good evening, I'm Jason Gregory.
And I'm Catherine Thornberry.
Before we get into tonight's news, let's take a look at the weather with Austin Wader. Austin?
Thanks, Jason. So for our weather headlines, we're going to have a temperature decrease later in the week. We're going to have some rain enter back into the forecast after having a little bit of time off from it. That rain's going to continue through the end of the week, but the good news is this weekend, despite those temperatures dropping, we should have some clear skies once again, especially with UCA football being back at home this weekend. That's it for your headlines. I'll be back with a full forecast later on in the show. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you, Austin. Our top story tonight, a pedestrian struck by a vehicle in Conway on Halloween night died Thursday. 56-year-old Jeffrey King of Valonia was struck by the front portion of a 2011 Range Rover at the intersection of Highway 64 and Sunny Gap Road at 10:30 at night. The roads were dry and the weather was clear during the time of the crash. The name of the driver of the Range Rover has not been released. King was the 472nd casualty on Arkansas roads this year.
It's been 11 years and police are still looking for answers in the death of a Conway man. In October 2012, Larry Billings, owner of the Conway roller rink, was found dead in his home. Billings' body was found with a gunshot to his head. His car was missing at the scene and later found at a West Little Rock grocery store. Last month, the Faulkner County Sheriff's Office said the case is still a priority. Billings' family is offering a $15,000 reward to anyone who can offer tips leading to an arrest. The FCSO said no information is too small and is accepting all tips that may move this case forward. Any information on Billings' death can be reported to the Faulkner County Sheriff's Criminal Investigation Division by calling 501-450-4917.
After a fire broke out at Torsen Library on the UCA campus last week, fire trucks swarmed the area, alarming several students. Reporter Rose Aramillo has more information on the incident.
Last Wednesday night, students were evacuated from Torsen Library after firefighters arrived on the scene. Alarmed by the sirens and flashing lights, several students across campus rushed over to spectate. Rumors spread that someone had set a book on fire or that a computer inside the library had overheated. I spoke to a worker at the front desk of the library and asked them about the fire. The anonymous source told me the real cause of the fire was from a wiring issue in the library's server room and that the incident was nothing to worry about. However, they refused to give an official statement.
A new Arkansas poll has Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders at a 48% approval rating. This is the lowest rating for a governor since her father, Mike Huckabee, in 2003. The University of Arkansas Political Science Department polled 801 Arkansans by telephone interviews. Issues such as changing FOIA rules and the purchase of Electron have led to a decline in support, but some still show support because of her pro-life stance and tax cuts.
When we come back from the break, we'll have more news from UCA, Conway, and Faulkner County. Don't go anywhere. News 6 will be right back.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
I taught for 20 years, but I started forgetting my lectures.
Eventually, he had to quit. The early Alzheimer's diagnosis allowed us to take control of the situation.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
An electrical fire destroyed the house of a family of 11 Wednesday morning in Greenbrier. Former State Representative David Meek's home was still smoking Wednesday afternoon when his 9 children came home from school. Community members are helping out. Many donations have come from The Call, a nonprofit that helps foster and adoptive families. To help Meeks or families in similar situations, contact the call at 501-581-9208.
One thing students are missing this semester is the running of the water at the Harding Centennial Fountain. News 6 reporter Jason Gregory has an update on when we might see the waters running again.
A monument here at UCA is under construction. The fountain at the Harding Centennial Plaza, a popular student hangout, has not been flowing this semester. Vice President of Operations, Kevin Carter, sat down with News 6 to explain what's wrong with the pump.
A few months ago, one of the main pumps that serves the jets on the fountain went out. So there's two pumps that supply the water to the jets in the pools, and one of those pumps failed.
Carter and the physical plant noticed that the pump was broken shortly after a soaping incident. And while they believe that's what likely caused the pump's failure, there is no way to know for sure. But no matter what caused it, Carter is making it a priority to be fixed.
That's one of the main focal points of our campus. It's a popular spot to hang out, to take pictures for graduation or different events.
And while the physical plant is doing everything it can to get the fountain working again, there are circumstances preventing the plant from fixing it sooner.
Once the pump failed, we explored the options of trying to rebuild the pump, and that wasn't an option. And so our only other option at that time when it can be rebuilt is to order a new pump.
Now, all there is to do is wait. With the pump expected to arrive within the next few weeks, Carter says when we can anticipate the project to be completed.
Once it arrives, it might take us a couple of weeks to get it installed, refill the pools. So right now, tentatively, we're looking at January.
And with that expected completion date of January, students can enjoy what makes the campus special by next semester. Reporting for News 6, I am Jason Gregory. This fall semester at UCA has been filled with many new activities and classes for students on campus, including a brand new class about the latest trend in journalism media. News 6 reporter Austin Wader has more on the latest class to prepare students for their future careers.
Here on the campus of UCA comes a new class for the journalism program. This new class is focused on one of the latest trends in media in our world today, which is podcasting. News 6 sat down with the teacher and students of the class to learn all about it and what the class hopes to accomplish.
Back in the days before television came along, people listened to the radio, and there were dramas and all those sorts of things on the radio. And then people got away from that. The radio became all about music, and now it's sort of gone back. So this is a bit of a throwback.
Dr. Richard Shumay says he was the leader behind the creation of this new class for the journalism program.
It just seemed that given that so many people are doing podcasts and it's become such a popular way to do journalism, that we really needed to be giving students the experience to learn how to do a podcast and how to put a podcast together.
Students say that the recent growth of podcasts sparked their interest in joining this new class.
Seeing the success of podcasting in general and wanting to, I guess, get my feet wet, like what's the process behind a successful podcast?
Students also say that this class gives them all the tools they need to create their own podcast.
You get firsthand experience and you actually get to make your own podcast. So if you are thinking about doing that in the future, this is the perfect class for that, because it teaches you how to write a script and how to organize things and how to do the research. And then you actually get to sit behind a mic and record and hear yourself and edit. And so you get all the knowledge that you need to create your own podcast.
Dr. Shumate knows where the future of media is heading and hopes this class will prepare students for once they leave UCA.
A lot of news organizations today have podcasts that go with like the Washington Post and the New York Times. They have podcasts. And so if they're going to work for news organizations, they're going to need to know how to do this. And so this is really just to introduce them to the skills that they need to do.
Reporting for News 6, I'm Austin Wader.
Thank you, Austin. The $35 million Conway Aquatic Center construction project is finally underway. The Aquatic Center was approved by the city back in 2020. This will be the first public pool in the city of Conway. It will consist of an 8-lane, 25-yard competition pool and a 6,800-yard lazy river. Aside from swimming, the Aquatic Center will include pickleball, volleyball, tennis courts, cafe, and a gym. Planners and voters who approved the Aquatic Center hope the city will attract people toward Conway as a fun living environment. The city is being built at the old Axiom location in the Central Landing area. The city plans to take over and finish the project by mid-2025.
Campus Outdoors is a unique program at the University of Central Arkansas that provides several outdoor resources and opportunities for students. Campus Outdoors has impacted several students who enjoy the outdoors but do not have the financial freedom to purchase recreational equipment. News 6 reporter Will Tidwell has more information on what happens inside Campus Outdoors and how it continues to make an impact on many people's lives.
Campus Outdoors, a facility located inside the Hyper Center, is a place where students can rent any outdoor equipment to facilitate their adventures or needs outdoors. Campus Outdoors has been providing equipment to students since 2014. Anthony Filipino, the director of the Hyper, said that Campus Outdoors plays a prominent role at the Hyper Center.
Campus Outdoors is a great addition to our facility and to our department because it's one of the growing fads attached to campus recreation and wellness across the country for universities and colleges. Plus, it's one of those things where it is the natural state. So you can come out here, you can get canoes, kayaks, camping gear, hiking gear, and use these products in the natural state.
Campus Outdoors not only offers a variety of equipment, but it also provides services as well, which not many people are familiar with. Rob Stein, the director of the program, said Campus Outdoors is more than just a rental shop.
So I kind of think about the program in three different kind of main pieces. We have this physical building right here. We call this the gear locker, where we have equipment for backpacking, boating, and cycling. Also have the events that we do on and off campus. Some are called how-tos and some are called guided adventures. The how-tos are more instructional. Then we have our off-campus adventures, we call them, where we'll go climbing, skydiving, just day hikes, backpacking, all kinds of cool things.
This month, Stein said they will be holding their last campus adventure of the semester.
November 11th and 12th, we'll be taking a group out to Horseshoe Canyon Ranch, which is a very popular, actually world-famous climbing destination here in Northwest Arkansas, where we will be meeting up with a team of climbing guides that are going to take us out and show us some of the classic routes out there in Horseshoe Canyon.
Jake Bridgers, one of the workers for Campus Outdoors, said he recently went to Horseshoe Canyon for an event, and he said that he loved the area.
It's a great place, and the people there are awesome, and they really just want to support your activities wherever they are.
Horseshoe Canyon is just one of the many rock climbing destinations Campus Outdoors will go. Stein said that Campus Outdoors holds climbing adventures at least once a year, and he explains how these guided adventures work.
All of our trips are all-inclusive, so it includes the transportation, the food, the equipment, the camping equipment, everything. Basically show up with clothes and you're good. And then the pricing, it's really just paying your way. We're not making any money on it. The university sees this as an opportunity for you to learn how to do this. If you are interested in climbing, you want to try it your first time, definitely come check us out.
Reporting for News 6, I'm Will Tidwell.
Thank you, Will. The Vilonia Museum of Veterans will host its annual Veterans Day ceremony on November 11th. The ceremony will include a parade to honor fallen soldiers. Throughout the event, a giveaway for a trip to Washington, D.C., several Veterans Day speakers, and a band performance will take place. Many military vehicles will be on display, and a food truck will also be set up during the ceremony. The celebration will start at 9 in the morning and will end at noon. The museum encourages the community to attend and honor our nation's veterans.
Retired Colonel Marcus Jones, candidate for the United States House of Representatives, will be the keynote speaker at the Faulkner County Democratic Party meeting at 6:30 tonight. The meeting will take place at the McGee Center located at 3800 College Avenue. Each representative in the 2nd Congressional District serves a 2-year term. Jones served 29 years in the United States Army and served in Iraq and Kuwait as a field artillery officer. Jones holds a master's degree in management and leadership from Webster University. After the break, we'll go to Austin Wader for a closer look at this week's weather. News 6 will be right back.
I am so glad you ladies are here. You each have your own rooms. Thank you.
okay to call you Mom?
Of course you can.
When they learn something new and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
Welcome back to News 6. Austin Wader here. Let's take a look at what's going on weather-wise across the country. And we're going to start with today's forecast, and there's really only two portions of the country that we're going to focus on. Over here, we're going to start in the northwest. Mixed precipitation all across those portions of Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Wyoming, Nevada, California. All of them are going to receive chances of mixed precipitation as well as some chances of just rain entering the forecast, some thunderstorms maybe. The only other part that's receiving any other sort of type of mixed precipitation or precipitation in general is up here in Minnesota, Wisconsin, as well as Michigan and New York and Pennsylvania. A bit of mixed precipitation in the upper portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin, and Michigan all the way down to New York are going to have some chances for rain in their forecast for today. And even in the upper portions of Vermont and Maine, they're going to also have some chances for mixed precipitation too. And those are really the two only spots that we're going to see any weather in the area. South, for the most part, should be pretty clear, and as well as much of the Midwest too. Now, as we pull up our 3-day map, you're going to notice over here in the northwest, not as giant patch of rain or mixed precipitation coming through, but just smaller patches across parts of in Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and as I get out of the way, Colorado, you'll see it there. So we're going to have mixed precipitation just in different patches there, but the main spot is right around that same spot in Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin area. That mixed precipitation, as you can see, is going to work its way all the way down into parts of New York, and even with some freezing rain possible in portions of New York and Vermont too. So that mixed precipitation is going to continue to work its way across there. There is going to be some rain right below it in parts of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio and Pennsylvania too. That could be part of the rain that the state of Arkansas will look to see later this week. Now, we're going to take a look at what's going on a little bit closer to home. So for tonight's weather, we're going to see 60 degrees, getting back up there in the higher temperatures in the evening. Some winds south 5 to 10 miles per hour. And due to daylight savings time that happened this weekend, that sun's going to set a lot sooner, as it is now set to be at 5:11 p.m. For tomorrow's weather, we're going to be sunny skies. We're going to get back up into the 80s, and we're going to cherish this as this is going to be probably one of the last few times that we're going to be in the 80s for the rest of this year. There will be south-southwest winds around 5 to 15 miles per hour, so be ready for those type of winds. And that sunset again right around that same time with that daylight savings time decrease at 5:10 p.m. And now as we pull up our 7-day map, like I mentioned, we're going to have a change in the forecast between Wednesday and Thursday. You look at that, a 15-degree difference due to that rain coming through there on Wednesday night and throughout Thursday and Friday. And even an 11-degree difference between Thursday and Friday down to 57. But as we get ready, as UCA gets set to host their final home game of the season, we're going to see that temperature get back up into the low 60s, and it should stay that way through the rest of the weekend and into the start of next week. Well, that's it for your weather. When we come back from the break, I'll catch you up on the latest in sports across Faulkner County. We're going to talk about maybe the biggest game in the state of Arkansas for high school football, Conway and Bryant. UCA football gets another road win to keep them on pace in the UAC. And Bears soccer is set to play in the A-Sun semifinals. All this and more when News 6 returns.
Here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood. Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Your family is your legacy. Planning for a natural disaster will make sure you're all safe. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today.
A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
Scary that it can be put into anything, and we can't even see it or notice it.
Welcome back to News 6. Austin Wader here, going to catch you up on the latest in sports all across Faulkner County. And first up, we're going to talk about the most hyped up high school football game of the year in the state of Arkansas. Conway Wampus Cats versus the Bryant Hornets. Enough waiting, let's roll those highlights. And this game was quite jam-packed, a huge crowd on hand. And Conway started this game out strong, as you'll see quarterback Donovan Amalu take this long run to the house as he cuts to the left and makes a defender miss in for the touchdown. Amalu was really the main factor for the Bears, for the Wampus Cats on offense throughout the night, as he had multiple rushing touchdowns, as you can see another one here. And the Wampus Cats were in control of this game throughout most of the first half, as they were able to force a couple Bryant punts and have a 20-14 lead. But then the second half, that Bryant defense went to work and fired up the rest of the team, as you will see the big hit there for Bryant, and then a big interception here by Drake Fowler here to get Bryant some momentum. And then Walker down the sideline to Mileton Stowing for the great touchdown catch, and then down the sideline again to another great receiver. And really that was Bryant dominating the game throughout most points of the second half. Carter Ratliff with that touchdown grab, and you can see the frustration in Conway head football coach Buck James. But the Hornets, they get to celebrate a 7A Central Conference championship as they win it over Conway 52-33. Next up, we have UCA football, where the 25th ranked Bears defeated the North Alabama Lions by a score of 27-14. The star of the game for the Bears was the team's defense, as it had 8 tackles for loss, a season high 14 sacks, and 2 interceptions. This win moves the Bears to 6-3 so far this season and has the team in second place in the United Athletic Conference at 3-1. The Bears also moved up to 24th in the FCS coaches poll. We would also like to correct a mistake made on last Wednesday's show. We had previously said that the Bears faced the Lions only one other time before their meeting this past Saturday, when they had actually played 20 other times before, with North Alabama now leading the series history 15-6. The next game for the Bears will be the final home game of the season, as they get set to host the Eastern Kentucky Colonels with full control of second in the UAC on the line. Kickoff on Saturday, November 11th is set for 4 in the afternoon. And it is finally time for basketball season here at UCA, as the Bears and the Sugar Bears are both set to start their seasons tonight. The Sugar Bears will tip off its season at home as the Hendrix College Warriors come across town for the matchup. This season opener also marks the first game for the new Sugar Bears head basketball coach Tony Kemper, who hopes to have a successful first season at the helm. Tip-off is set for 6:30 in the evening at the Ferris Center, and the game will be available for streaming on ESPN+. The Bears will be in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as they get set to open their season against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane tonight. The Bears will be without All-ASUN guard Cameron Hunter for the first month of the season due to a foot injury, and the team will look to rely on its 5 returnees and 10 new players to step up and carry the Bears through the early portion of the season. Tip-off for the Bears game in Tulsa is set for 7 in the evening and will also be available for streaming on ESPN+. And next up, we're going to talk about UCA Bears soccer, who is playing for a trip to the ASUN championship game tonight against the Lipscomb Bisons. The Bears were able to advance in the conference tournament by defeating the Queens Royals 1-0 on Saturday, as Dion Travis scored the winning goal in the 32nd minute. With a win against the Bisons tonight, the Bears would return to the conference championship for the 3rd consecutive season. But the Bison will be a tough matchup for the Bears this evening, as they have the ASUN Player of the Year Tyrese Spicer, and they'll be playing on their home field in Nashville, Tennessee. Kickoff for this huge match is set for 7 in the evening and will be available for streaming on ESPN+. And lastly, Sugar Bear Volleyball celebrated Senior Day in a big way on Sunday, as they were able to sweep the Bellarmine Knights in 3 sets. The day started great as the Sugar Bears honored their 4 seniors, Macy Blackburn, Lexi Gregory, Charleston Tidwell, and April Conant. As you can see in a great shot there of them, a crowd of over 300 came to see the game for the Sugar Bears as they dominated their way through the first set, winning 25-18. The second set saw the Knights put up a better fight, but they were still no match for the Sugar Bears as they won 25-21. And despite a slow start in the third set, the Sugar Bears were able to win 25-17 and seal their final home game of the season. Sophomore Lacey Bohannon led in kills with 11, sophomore Kaylin Coons led in assists with 28, and sophomore Alexis McDaniel led in digs with 11. The Sugar Bears' final 2 matches of the season will be on the road, as they will travel to face the Lipscomb Bisons on Thursday, November 9th, then travel to take on the Austin Peay Governors on Friday, November 10th. And that's it for your sports. After this break, we will catch you up with the rest of the news.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September. I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs, and that's still not enough to put food on the table. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Why would drug dealers put a lethal dose of fentanyl in drugs if they know it's so harmful?
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. Really just all about the money.
November is Native American Heritage Month, and UCA is hosting an event in its honor. The celebration will take place tomorrow during X period in the McCaslin Fireplace Room. Dr. Angela Webster, Chief Diversity Officer and Associate Vice President of Institutional Diversity and Inclusion, organized the event. With the help of guest speaker Dr. Eric Bone, Webster hopes to offer additional knowledge about the Native American community. The event is centered around the Choctaw Stickball, a beloved sport among American Indians. All are welcome to join to celebrate Native American culture.
The Goodwill Academy will hold a CPR training course on November 10th at 245 Oak Street in Conway. The Goodwill Academy teaches people basic first aid and how to use an automatic external defibrillator. The coursework includes a portion that must be completed online before being assessed. Once completed, an instructor will evaluate skills and provide a certification test. The course will start at 9 in the morning and last until 1 in the afternoon. A registration fee of $50 is required to attend the course. Registration is available at goodwillar.org.
A Conway Christmas tradition will reappear in downtown Conway on November 25th. Chick-fil-A Illuminate is a tradition that highlights the Conway Christmas tree lighting and hosts an array of activities. These activities consist of riding a Ferris wheel and Conway train, musical performances, and food. Community members can also drop off letters to Santa Claus and enter contests for prizes. Sponsors of the event include Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway, Remax Elite, the Emily Walter team, and HD Roofing.
Last Tuesday, officials with Safe Haven Baby Boxes announced the organization's second location in Conway. The new baby box is located at the newly opened Doyce Ballard Fire Station number 3. This is Arkansas's 21st baby box. Safe Haven is a mission dedicated to parents who cannot take care of a baby less than 30 days old. In Arkansas, newborns can be surrendered at a baby box, hospital, emergency room, fire station, or law enforcement facility. Officials of Safe Haven Baby Boxes and the chief of the fire department, Tyler Ledbetter, encourages parents who cannot care for a child to drop them off at one of the Arkansas locations.
The Arkansas Game and Fish Commission announced October 28th anglers will have a new place to fish at Lake Conway after a local nursery pond was repurposed. The pond was originally used for promoting natural spawning activity on the lake, but it is now an opportunity for fishermen to maximize their experience while Lake Conway gets renovated. The pond will be fertilized, aerated, and outfitted to grow in the most natural way possible. Structures placed within the casting distance increase the chance of catching a fish. Once the renovations are finished, the nursery pond will be emptied back into the lake and will go back to promoting spawning activity. Rod and pole fishing is the only type of fishing allowed, and no other type of fishing is permitted. So, Catherine, today is National Nachos Day. How do you plan on celebrating?
I actually was unaware of this holiday. I suppose the best way to celebrate is to eat some nachos.
Oh, well, that sounds good, and I'll probably do the same thing.
Yes.
Well, that's a look at your news for today. If you missed any stories or want to get more details, visit us online at ucanews.live.
If you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, you can email us at ucanews6@gmail.com.
Also, you can keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm Jason Gregory.
And I'm Catherine Thornberry. For Austin Wader and all of us at News 6, thank you for watching and good night.